Oh, hello everybody, and welcome to the ewansucks Drawing Podcast. I'm your host, Ewan. I hope you're all doing well. You fucking pieces of shit! You big fucking horse vaginas. I hope you all fucking die. I hope you're putting up a set of shelves and they all fall on you and hit you in the trachea and cut off your airway and you can't breathe until you become asphyxiated and die. Oh, I try to be pleasant, I do. Today we're drawing a pig, you cunt. I'll fucking wreck you, mate. Give me a cigarette, mate, you fucking cunt. We're drawing a pig today because of I don't know what else to do, and I figured I'd try to record something. So we're drawing a pig. I was going to try to tutorialize it, try to make it a tutorial, but I mean, what more can I say other than here's the pig that we're drawing. Hello, Mr. Pig. Oh, hello. What's your name? Pepper? No, you cunt. That would be copyright infringement. You sorry excuse for a prick. So other than look at the pig and then draw the pig, I mean, ooh, shrug, he shrugged. Pay close attention to tendons and musculature and the undercarriage of fat that they have. Oh, not fat shaming. That would be horrendous. We'd get in a lot of trouble for that if we were to be fat shaming everywhere, or even just in one concentrated area. But again, as always, I guess rather than say, this is how you do a thing, I'll say, this is how I do the thing. This is my thought processes while I'm drawing and such. So the outlines and such, I just, you don't really focus on the exact dimensions and things. I mean, you can, but I just sort of get a rough shape. So you go, oh, that's its fucking back end. I do use centre lines quite often to give myself a sense of form and shape and direction, so I know roughly where I'm going. That's not even visible on camera, my apologies. This leg goes off that way, this one goes off this way. There's the undercarriage. These heels, I guess, or whatever they are. This one is going sort of this way. This one's this way. And then the tummy muscle, the back muscle, shoulders here, and then that goes into the head. And that's roughly that's how I start my drawings when I'm drawing drawings. And then you add in the details as you go, which, I mean, frankly, is probably how every single person on the planet draws drawings. I mean, I'm not that Kim Jong-gi guy, you know. I mean, I probably could just draw everything, you know, details first, right from the offset, everything from scratch, from memory. But I like to have a sense of form of what I'm drawing before I draw the details and such. It makes me, it gives me some more confidence, allows me to know where and what the fuck I'm drawing. And then, again, as Kim Jong-gi would say, you think of everything as if they were boxes, as if they were boxes. So the pig's body is like this in box terms, with its legs as thus. This being the front end of the box. So this underside is all shady wady, and then there's like bits jutting out. So it's like a box It's like turning to the side. Pardon me. A box with legs and a pig's snout. Minecraft pigs, there you go. And that's your basic piggity pig, shapety shape. Let's all go get rapety raped. Oh, it's okay, it's not a rape joke, I just used the word rape. It's okay to use the word rape as much as it is to use the word sex. If you're talking about sex education, of course the word sex is perfectly applicable. Use it liberally. And if you happen to be talking about the subject of rape, in a light-hearted manner or serious or otherwise, it's perfectly okay to use the word rape. I rape all the time. No, I don't. I never did one single rape. I have currently, to this date, of just past my 31st birthday. I know, wow, 31, would you believe it? And still recording himself talking about rape. Ooh, how mature you are, Ewan. How you've grown over the years. To this date, 0 rape accusations to my name. So, you know, that's something I can take with me, a positive for my my daily life. How are things going? Well, so far, no accusations of rape against me whatsoever. So we're doing okay. You know, we're doing okay. See, I was about to just sort of fill in all the detail however I felt and fancied, but it is often a good idea to refer back to the actual reference that you are drawing from. Even from this little toy, I'm learning about pigs' trotters, as they're called, and how they look. Quite funny little things. Might draw one separately in a bit, just to sort of, I don't know, see how they look. Oh, look, that's how that looks, I suppose. I have some announcements and things coming up, and I figured since this is, you know, the podcast that Ewan does, and it's going to be up on my Patreon first before anywhere else, I may as well do those announcements here on this platform, because that could be something, I don't know, something. So stick around, and you might you might hear my announcements. You know, that's a teaser. Keep you watching. Make sure you watch past the few-minute mark for the thing. So as you can see, I'm just adding in the line work. Obviously, the angle I'm looking is slightly different from the camera, so you can't quite see. It's kind of that sort of angle. Yeah, you get it. Now, when I'm see, you can see these lines here and here, where the body. How best to describe it? Okay, so ultimately the body is more or less cylindrical. This is the pig's body, and its head, leggy legs, and his curly tail. But he has like a gut here, and then his like shoulder and elbow, etc. So there's a gut here, which turns it from a circular shape into this kind of shape. And again, this is very vague and basic, giving it more of a bodily shape than a straight cylindrical shape. Now, when I'm adding, trying to discern these forms without straight up drawing this shape and these lines, I will use hatching like this, where you put the pen down and you go whip and create a line, whip, Fwip, fwip, fwip. That's fwip, not thwip, because that's Spider-Man's noise, and we'll leave him to that. We won't, take his noise away from him. So using these and the idea of contour lines, wherein you contour these lines to match the contours of the object of which you are drawing. So you start in the crease where the most shadow is, where the heaviest amount of ink will be, and you go whip, 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 and then you discern the form, and then you can add more in as you're hatching, cross hatching as opposed to singular hatching. Not to be confused with angry hatching. You might be cross while you're doing it, but that's not why they call it cross hatch. So you can see he's got this little fold here where the leg joins the belly. Yeah. And then this little indentation here. So that's this here, which you can sort of pull out of the form with some carefully placed hatching, and then you can get the underside of the fold, some small hatches, yeah, and then you can carry these hatches on up to fit the form of the tummy and bring them down into the fold to narrow that fold as it pulls into the gut. Yeah? Are we following? Am I Bob Ross enough for ye? Oh, some happy little piggy accidents. Speaking of happy accidents, one day I was born. See, because I was an accident. But then I guess it wasn't really a happy one. It was just, oh look, now this thing exists. And then of course you just scribble in the rest of the fucking shadow and shit. Always viewing things as 3D shapes rather than 2D shapes. So this, and it's a good way of shading in general, is if you have a leg. Oh god, you can't even draw a leg now, of course. Like this. It's easy to just go, oh, it's 3D, you put a shadow here. I know it's so cliche and typical, but view it as a series of oblongs, yeah? So this is an oblong, this is an oblong, and they're all joined together. This is a joint. A joint of meat, not a joint of the weed. Therefore, this bit being on the underside is in shadow, and this bit's kind of sort of in shadow, and then there's more shapes here because of how the trotters work. So this bit's in shadow, and there's a little extra bit of light space here, and then shadow continues on the underside. Eee. And then the muscle, again using your hatching to define the shape rather than lines themselves, comes out here. And is your shoulder muscle of the pig. Is that working for you? Do you understand what I'm trying to teach you? And here's a trick I use, as you might see I just did, putting in this dark little patch right in the corner-y creases. So right here, in this corner here, just putting in that little dark patch just to show where all the shadow's falling into. So that shows the form of this bit and the form of this bit. Almost every direction that you put, so it's basically triangular, it shows the form of all of those parts while you're doing the thing. And again, using the hatching to define the muscle rather than straight up drawing them. Yeah. Muscles, yeah. Hatching, yeah. You get it? Yeah, yeah. You. And then the rump. Big rump roast. Do you know where the term high on the hog comes from? If one were to be living high on the hog, it means you're living the high life, an extravagant, rich person's lifestyle. That's because the higher up cuts on the hog were seen as the better and thus more expensive ones, and the lower down ones were seen as the dirt cheap ones. So to live high on the hog implies that you've got money, so you can buy the... And if you did know that, and I've just explained it. I've just mansplained the term high on the hog. Because I'm a man, and that's what we do. We splain things. Just trying to help. Yes, so now I'm just adding in the extra form lines for the form lines. Okay, so announcements, yeah. In my previous podcast, if you watched it, you might recall I explained how terrible everything's going. Nothing's working. Nobody wants my artwork. And I gave it some serious thought. Did a bit of soul searching, if you like. And, I did think back to when did I last really enjoy creating artwork? And it was, many, many moons ago now. But when I really think about it, I don't think I ever wanted to be a career artist. It never, like, the idea of making money from art always seemed very silly to me, and it was never something I really cared for. It was always, oh, you and you're very good at drawing, you should be an artist, or, if you're going to have a career, it should be doing something you love, be an artist. And to me it was always, well, I guess, I can draw, so I guess it makes sense to try and be an artist. Sure. But like I say, it was never something I was really like, oh yeah, I want to be an artist and I want to, make a living drawing and painting, and yeah, that'd be cool. Let's be an artist. Ugh. And especially growing up, learning more of, from my own experience and otherwise, learning more of the art world and how it works and such. It was never really something I wanted to be a part of. Like, I don't care to be part of the art world, to be recognised as a great famous artist, to be an artist. I always just wanted to draw. That was it. So I attribute part of my failing to become an artist to that. I have tried. I've put the work in to a degree. I've gone down several avenues of trying to be, a career artist. But I believe, if I really am honest about it, part of the reason I haven't become one is because I'm sort of holding myself back. I'm not necessarily putting in as much effort as I would otherwise, because I don't really have the passion to do it, Does that make sense? Do you understand? So I'm not going into it going, yeah, I want to be an artist. I'm going, I guess I'll try and be an artist. Do you want to pay me to do some art? No? Okay, fair enough. And, I won't necessarily... If I get declined, if my portfolio is seen and they say, no, it's not what I'm looking for, I just sort of give up with whoever I've shown it to. I won't be like, okay, well, I'll be back in a month and I'll show you again and we'll see where... I just go, I guess I'm not going to get paid by this company to draw. Because I don't have the passion and the desire in me to become a career artist, and as such, I think it's diminished my want to create. Even I've lost a lot of will and passion for it, and I don't really have it in me much to actually sit and draw, especially for fun. Because as soon as you have to be doing something, it's the last thing you want to do. So if even with commissions, I'm glad to get them. I want to make people happy with the artwork and stuff. But as soon as you're supposed to be drawing is the last thing you want to be doing, which is not good if you're trying to be an artist. So I think I'm just, by way of announcement, I'm going to give up trying to be an artist, however silly that may be. And I've always enjoyed giving away art anyway, more so than selling it. Like, I'll put stuff up for sale now and again just because, if I've got stuff, people want it, and they're willing to pay to support me, cool. But, I don't think I have the grind in me to really try to be an artist, because it's not what I want out of life. Like, it would be cool to make enough money from art that I can live off of it. For one thing, it's difficult enough as it is. Even if you're recognized and basically professional, it's still difficult to make a living doing it. But also, I don't care for it. So my idea being, hopefully, I get to a point where I start creating just for myself again, just for fun. I make some cool artwork out of it. And I think that's where my best stuff has come from. Like Gun Viking, for instance, if for those of you who are aware of that, my comic I made, which I fully intend to continue, but it's been years since I've even touched the guy. That completely came from, I wanted to make a comic that just looked cool. I didn't care about the story. I didn't care about selling it, making money. The idea of getting it published was cool, but that was never really the intention. I just wanted to make a fucking cool comic. And I got 2 issues done, and I'm happy with both of them, and that's cool. But now, a bit later down the road, it's, you've got to get some more issues done, try and get it published, try to sell it, make some money with it, and now I don't really want to do it because I don't give a shit about that. So, if I give myself a break, stop trying to be an artist and just fucking give myself time to actually create, then I might get that done and I'll be happy with it. And happiness is something I don't see much of these days with my frankly dwindling mental state. My mental health is not in a great place. Depression is sort of swamping me at the moment. But yeah, my hope is that somewhere down the line I will pick up things again like Gun Viking and enjoy making them, and then I can just fucking sell them, or I can give them away, whatever. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm about. I've given away so many drawings and paintings and things, literally from people who have sent me a DM on Instagram saying, oh shit, I really love this drawing, it's so good. If you do anything like that again, let me know and I'll buy it. And then I say, well, give me your address, I'll fucking send it to you. I don't give a shit. I got my art back just this morning while recording this, from the exhibition I had a little while ago. I actually bothered to go and pick the artwork up. And yeah, the guy sort of in charge said, "Oh yeah, I'd really love to get one of these off you at some point. I'll let you know when I've got some money." And I said, "Oh, just fucking take take one." He had his eye on one, so I said, "Oh, cool, yeah, have this. It's a gift, whatever." And he was like, "What? Really? Are you sure?" And like, "Yeah, I don't care. It's whatever. It's just a drawing. If you want it, I'd rather you just had it, rather than me worrying about money and." Because I hate money. The idea of money's silly, and I fucking can't stand it. I make it because I have to live, but ultimately, it can fuck off. I've no interest in making it. I don't want to be rich. All I ever wanted was to draw. I have memories of being a kid and sitting on the landing outside my bedroom, because I'd share a bedroom, so I'd sit outside on the landing with a light on at like fucking 6 in the morning with a box of pens, drawing Street Fighter characters and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that was the best times, and just drawing, just because it was fun to do. And of course, well, why don't you just do that and then sell it and then you make money doing art? But it's, I don't care. I don't want to make money doing art, because then it becomes a whole other thing. Because I never cared about being an artist. It's like, well, what do? I draw because I'm good at it. And then that's that. Oh, you should sell, you should exhibit, you should publish, you should make money. It's not fun. I mean, it can be, don't get me wrong. It's cool having something printed, ready to sell, and then when people want it, that's great, but give a shit, Who fucking cares, blood? So I think from around this point, I'm sort of giving up trying to be a professional artist. If something comes along and I like how it looks, then I might see about grabbing it and seeing where it goes. But for now, ultimately, I don't give a fuck. Art schmart. Probably just carry on my Instagram, post shit when I've got it, repost some old shit. But ultimately, he really gives a shit. I really do want to finish Gun Viking though. That's my main. I so want to just. Because Gun Viking started because I had certain panels in mind and pages I wanted to create. So I built an entire shitty story of a comic around it. And I got some of those pages done. But I've still got pages in mind. I've got new pages in mind since I started it. I want to get them done. But it takes a lot of work to do that shit. I don't have time with the day job, and I don't have the wherewithal, because of, I need to be making money from art and all that shitty nonsense. Who wants to be a fucking artist anyway? What a pile of shit. I don't know. It's sort of, oh, the art world's evil, man. Don't be a part of that evil capitalist system, man. But it's just a lot of garbage out there, and like, I feel like you know when you see it, when you can see just garbage art that people pay money for. It's not something I want to be a part of. I want my art to be pure, man. It's about the art. It's not about the money, man. So today we're drawing a pig. Did you know that even male pigs have all the nipples? Which stands to reason, because male men's have nipples too, so why wouldn't pigs? I think in some animals, only the females have nipples. Don't quote me on that. But with pigs, I'm pretty sure it is, males and females have the nips. But obviously only the females milk them. The dirty bitches they are. Oh, yeah. Get that sweet fucking pig milk. Oh, I have to sit on my hands. I'm just going to start masturbating. Oh, dirty fucking pig milk. There we go. There's the Ewan podcast we all know and love. Always bitching and moaning. Oh, I don't want to be there. I'm so sad. Wee. Pigs are whores. Give me their milk, you bitch. Don't reflect about forgetted light. That's what I was about to say. That would have been super silly, wouldn't it? Oh, don't forget about reflected light, folks. So where it's in shadow, so here, this bit's in shadow, because it's obviously more circular than oblong, you've got the main shadow is on the edge of the shape, and this bit is still in shadow, obviously, but whatever light is underneath is reflected up, causing a slightly lighter patch here. So you've got the actual shadow on the edge, and then leave it slightly lighter, though still in shadow underneath. And just that one trick will give your forms a lot more sort of form, I guess. A lot more depth and power in how they look. I do like, even just learning from this drawing, pigs, trotters, how they look, because they look like a hand, like doing that. Like it's a fancy hand going, ooh, this is how I walk. Not that I'm doing a good example, but something like that, with the two back feet, the thumb and the pinky finger, and then the trotters in front. If you look closely, I don't know how clear it will be on the camera. Yeah. So they're like, let's see, draw the reverse of a trotter. You've got like two tubes here, and then two toes coming out of those tubes. The underside going down to the reverse of the hoof, which is in two parts. And that goes up like that. Something like that. I'm not a fucking biologist. I'm not even an artist. See, because I failed at trying to be an artist. And then from this angle, how do they look here? That's one issue I had, I think, when drawing animals, is you tend to look at the animal and go, this is animal, draw animal. So when you draw the legs and such and everything else, your brain sort of goes, draw pig leg or elephant or tiger leg or whatever. But you have to bear in mind, in terms of bone structure, they're all basically the same thing, especially mammals. So a pig's hoof is you know, more or less structured, not necessarily the same, but very similarly to that of a person's hand. So that is the thumb and then the fingers, and that's, I guess, the wrist. Is that the elbow? Yeah, and then the shoulder. Yeah, that's basically how it works. So it's, you know, you'd go, or draw pig leg, but really it's draw leg, know where the bones are, and then you're good to go. So that's like drawing a hand. It was a person's hand. Thumb and fingers. Really long fingers, apparently. And then the pinky back there. is that yeah, let's so that's a pig. I hope you enjoyed my show. My other announcement, which is a bit less interesting, is that my Instagram, slowly getting there after being deleted, almost at 10,000 followers, which it's been about 6 months. You know, I cannot complain about that at all. I'm very grateful to everybody who helped in you know, re-upping me in the Instagram world. But I think when I hit 10,000 followers, I'm going to make my account private, which isn't really an announcement. It's just something I'm going to do, just to see if it makes any change, if it helps bring in followers because they're intrigued by this private account, if it makes things worse because no one can see my art, if it allows me to post more graphic content or not at all. Call it an experiment, you know. Go private in my Instagram account just to see what happens. See if there's any benefits or the opposite of benefits to it. If so, what they are or are not. Just fucking see what happens. Yeah, well, like I say, it's not really an announcement as such, but it's something to talk about, pass the time in this stupid fucking thing. Look, it's App Ig. We do App Ig. Yep. Something I like to do with drawings is give them a gradient, sort of. So if you've got, say this is a drawing, give them a gradient and then still add in all your shadows and such wherever they may go. Just to give it an added sort of level of shadow and shit, and just makes it work better as a drawing, because you can draw a thing and have it look like the thing, and that's cool, you know, and that's a study. That's you know how you draw. You study, create drawings just for the purpose of, you know, learning and observing and creating, or learning to create forms and such. But I always feel like giving it even a basic sort of gradient makes it look like an image rather than a study of a thing. So pretty much take it from like one corner or edge and then just sort of darken it and gradient it upwards. So it would make sense to make it like really dark here and here, and then darken it up to, you know, have light here. And maybe it will look good. Maybe it will look shite. And, you know, since the pig we were drawing from doesn't strictly have a gradient, you don't really have to worry about paying attention to the reference for that. So you can start darkening it. And then, of course, when you come to the bits that are already dark, you can make them even darker just to make sure you've still got your shadows and everything where they ought to be. So any bits that would be dark anyway, you make them super dark. Super dark, as the Japanese would say. Oh, and in true, rather Ewan podcast fashion, we started with some energy and we finished with none because we spent the whole time talking about depression and shit. Oh, what a load of fun bags that was. Joy of joys. Let's talk about sadness. Oh, well, you know, art and sadness go together like art and sadness. Yeah. And again, tiny little hatches just to pull out extra bits of form. So now there's a definition between the front of the hoof and the back. Just there and there. Just a little extra thing for the thing. Adding a couple of darker lines here and there just to enhance the form. Line weight is a very important thing in any drawing, illustration or anything. Have I talked about line weight before? Do you want me to talk more about line weight? I'll do a tutorial about line weight, in as much as it could be considered a tutorial at all. What did you learn from Ewan's podcast? I don't know. He said cunt a lot. He drew a pig. And then he said he didn't want to be an artist. Oh, that's cool. An artist. He doesn't want to be an artist. I'm sure he'll lead a long, happy life. No, he won't. It may be long, but it certainly won't be. That last leg is just fucking whatever. I don't give a shit about it. It can fuck off, frankly. Little tiny dark patches just to add and enhance form. And of course the ear is a little bit darker than the rest of the skin. But what we can do is switch to the pink and then use the same gradient technique on certain appendages and shadowy areas, like the nose, for instance. Make it like a really pinkety pink at the front, fade that in a bit, and then same one here. Pinky pink at the tip, and then fade it down to blend with the rest of the body. It works on goblin noses really well also. If you go really pink at the tip and then gradiently fade it up toward the eyes of the goblin. That's a good way of doing it. Give them some pink undercarriage. Might do something to it, I don't know. Might make it look like shit. Some of that reflected light in the pinks. I think that'll do for a pig. It looks like a pig. because it's a drawing of a pig, so it stands to reason that it would look like a pig. That end, a bit of the side for the true pig. So that's a pig. Don't really want to be an artist, but I might carry on drawing anyways. Just not really trying to make money from it. And 10,000 followers, I'll go private on my Instagram account, maybe for a little while, maybe for good, see how that goes. And also, yeah, if you're going to buy a drawing, buy one now, because I might stop selling them, because money can fuck off. I guess I'll just stick to the day job forever.